Everybody, we are back. It's Taped Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at DMarkJohnNFL. For me, at BD Williams 18 for BD. And then, of course, Panda Supplements. Use TDL for 35% off. Shout out Panda Subs. Use TDL for 35% off there. All right. Sir. So we're here to review the Rams game that was in a very ugly loss. Had a little breather over it over the weekend, and we're here to give you guys that review of that game and what happened. On my side, it really felt like they kind of just went in there and were expecting to get out of there healthy. I think they were like, hey, we got the Rams. They got Baker Mayfield. We got everybody hurt. Derek Carr got a hurt back. We got a hurt calf, Josh Jacobs. We got everybody injured. Let's go in here. Let's kind of just, let's start it off. We had a good game plan, just some reverses, keep the ball, maybe not give Jacobs too many carries here early on, give him some reverses, and we'll go in there and we're kind of just dominate. I'm Josh McDaniels. I'm a wizard. And I'm going to go in there and we're going to dominate because I'm a wizard. And, it just wasn't enough wizardry this game. I think there were a lot of turning points in this game to me. It was because it started off so good. It just on offense did start off pretty good. It's pretty good tape, and then the
So what was the adjustment? What was the adjustment in the second half?
The adjustment
the Rams made.
The
Rams made on defense.
If you want to keep real, the offense has the same problem it has every time when it can't score. Is the offensive line broke down? The offensive line breaks down and they can't score. That's basically the same. It's been the same thing every single collapse. The offensive line breaks down and they can't block anybody. This time they couldn't run the ball either. So that was a big thing. Most of the time they got away with it by running the ball and then they can't pass block. This time they couldn't run block or pass block. So it was just kind of an ugly thing. And then, after the interception, Derek Carr decided he wanted to dive and give up his back. And of course, Bobby Wagner popped him in his back. He got up very slow from that. And he wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It was like 2 for 6 after that. And then of course,
after
that, and then Josh McDaniels decides to run a QB sneak. After that, I thought that was interesting. With his quarterback with his bad back, who just got popped in the back really hard by Bobby Wagner, and then he throws a duck to Devontae Adams like 2 plays later. I'm like, all right, so that QB sneak wasn't the smartest play call, but you needed to, got the plays, but I don't think that was the smartest thing to do. But and then
should have called the QB sneak like 2 weeks ago. Right, like we needed it, but it's always like outthinking himself a little bit too much here. And I think I respect it. Defense, same thing. They came in with a simple game plan. I think the whole point of that was on a short week. Let's not outcoach ourselves. Let's not get crazy. Let's not give these guys too much. We're gonna go and out execute. And we're going to execute a simple game plan against a team that is in flux. They're not together the way they should be. They're missing key players, their best player on defense, their quarterback on offense. Like, they're missing key players. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to out-execute them. And that's a great idea, but you have to actually out-execute in the end, right? And like they didn't on either side of the ball. Like, they didn't even come close. So now you need to start calling some scheme. Now you need to start helping your guys out, right? And they just didn't they didn't adjust. Even on the last drive, they run the same thing over and over again that they've been running all game. So there was no hesitation from Mayfield. Like, he keeps on seeing exactly what he's been seeing, so he's just going. He didn't need, and that's why Baker Mayfield was like quoted afterwards. I'm pretty sure he said something like, "It was too easy," right? Or something like that. Yeah, it literally was too easy. Like, they ran the same exact thing over and over and over again. This is not an exaggeration. So if you see, and look, again, keep it simple. I understand. You want to help your guys out. But at the end of the day, if you see them struggling and keep on getting beat and keep on, they're not being able to execute that, they're being put on an island, they're not winning in man coverage, even though they won in man coverage last week. They're not winning man coverage this week. Get out of that. Like, relax. We don't need to do it. It's okay. So Patrick Graham, he deserves a lot of blame for this as well. But also, guys just didn't execute. So is that on the players? Is that on the coordinator? It's on both.
Yeah, it's same here. I mean, I put it on Twitter. I showed them not executing that play on 3rd and 1. I mean, they went hurry up and then they didn't block the right. Nobody blocked the right guy. So it's like why go hurry up at that point in time? First of all, you know what I mean? Like, just run the clock out. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think what they did, they ran the clock out, and then they all came up to the line really quick to kind of catch them off guard, and they did. They caught them off guard, but then nobody blocked the right guy, so it didn't matter. And they ended up confusing themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Instead of making sure on a super key play that everybody has everybody, they do the whole Derek Carr, every other play. It's Derek Carr points to the mic, pointing 100 times to the mic or whatever. They make sure everything's set before they play, and then on 3rd and 1, when they really need a yard, they try to go hurry up. Don't make sure everybody's set, and the people are blocking around guys for free runners are coming through. Because if they actually maybe took a second and just pointed people out, right? Just a second, they might have just won that game right there. We would be talking about this. We would talk about how great the defense played, even though
out execute.
Yeah, we're gonna out execute you, bro. We haven't out executed anybody all year. The only time that we've been beating people is when you're doing these flea flickers over their heads, or out scheming them, or doing some kind of appeal reverse. So that's the only time you've been doing that to people. So I don't know why they thought that you could just go in there.
When McDaniels is cooking it up, that's when we're winning on offense.
Go in there and just play old school smash mouth football, so we can make sure we're healthy and we're gonna win because we're awesome. We beat the Chargers last week.
They probably said they probably said protect the football 3,000 times all week leading up to the meetings.
Protect the ball.
Practice.
We're gonna smash him in the mouth.
Clock control. Yeah, that's definitely what it was.
Did you hear Matt Collins after the game? Mm-hmm. Matt Collins, he's like, after they asked him the question, he was like, "Well, I just do what it's called." That was the game plan, was to go in there and we're the Raiders, guys. He probably put come on, guys. So how do we get to the playoffs? Look who we play. First, we got these bums, and then we know we got to make sure I got all the wizardry for Josh McDaniels, because I can't wait to see Matt Collins run wheel route out of the backfield, since he was in the backfield so much this week. Yeah, wait. I hope it goes for a touchdown.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Everything that all this little dumb stuff that they were doing, they're going to have something built off that looks sick for sure this week. It's guaranteed. There's going to be a little reverse play action pass, downfield double pass. Something's going to happen. It's going to be outrageous. Devontae Adams is going to 250 yards for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. They're going to set.
But don't let it be a close game, because they will screw it up. Okay.
This team doesn't have funny, man. It was I can't wait for that. The wheel route, I see it. Matt Collins, they kept moving Matt Collins into the backfield. I see this week play action. They're gonna run the peel concept. It's gonna be a post route from Keenan Cole, where you get Matt Collins on a wheel route outside the backfield.
Yeah,
the pinwheel with Matt Collins. It's yeah, man. Yeah. So, but I mean, to be honest, a lot of it was just offensive line. The interior is bad. Andre James was terrible. It's probably his worst game of the year. He was awful, bad. The Raiders need a center. You know what I'm saying? It's as important. I was thinking every good quarterback in the NFL has a great center at this point. Kelsey, Justin Herbert looks awesome. He gets Corey Lindsey back. Justin Herbert looks like a totally different quarterback. Oh, because somebody's helping him point out blitzes. Because if he didn't have Corey Lindsey against the Dolphins, probably a totally different game. He's Corey Lindsey's pointing things out. He's helping him pointing things out. Jason Kelsey with Jalen Hurts. Creed Humphrey with Patrick Mahomes. Even Connor Williams with Tua's balling. It's having a center is so important right now, and Andre James is awful. You know what I mean? And Johnson's a guy for that. So
before we get into the film breakdowns, going into it as well, the other point of keeping it simple is you really don't know what they're gonna do. They don't have Aaron Donald, so whatever like game plan that they're going to have is going to be completely different, probably in certain aspects than maybe what you're expecting. So you can't like put a whole bunch of scheme in because you have no idea if like you can even get into that. So there's no point in installing it. So it's a tough one. Going up against like a quarterback who's new, a defense missing like a key player, so you know that they're going to switch things up. You know, like how much do you install on a short week? So you know, I will admit the coaches had a tough. They did have a tougher one than what it seems to be billed, but it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a weak team, so you gotta win this one, even if it's tough, like tougher than it seems. You still gotta win, you know, because at the end of the day, if you lose, it's a huge disappointment. So that's what we're gonna do here. The theme of the film breakdown is gonna be disappointment, right? in this one. At least on my side, I don't know. I didn't include many positive plays. So
on my side, I decided, hey, let's review some of these rookies now. So I'm gonna do Dylan Parham, try to see what the hell's wrong with him. And then of course we could look at the red zone because that's like that's the hot topic, even though it's really not that exciting. It's basically the same thing it always is. But hey, we're gonna watch it because that's what people they want to see what it is. And but it's also, I mean, because at the end of the day, the offensive line is the big problem on offense. So it's really not in a discussion at this point. Like I feel like it's every week, every collapse. You could go back to every single collapse. I could show you like the offensive line collapsing too, and it's always the interior. We always see these stats about like pass rush run rate and PFF rate, and it's really because Colton Miller has played lights out since the Saints game. He's been lights out. So is Luminar. Jermaine Luminar has been playing lights out basically too. And so those two guys are playing lights out, and nobody can beat them. It's basically laughable inside. I mean, I don't even know who the defense tackle who's got a breakout game this week. I don't know who he is, but it's a new guy.
someone's gonna play great. These guys.
And I like 91. I can't even remember his name right now, but I like 91 coming out of college for the Rams. But I never seen him dominate a game like that. Morgan Fox the week before. I don't think he did anything against the Dolphins, but he was the best player I've ever seen against the Raiders in the interior. So it's the same thing every time. So it's like it's kind of annoying at this point. I feel like I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this damn offensive line, and then I get in trouble for talking about it. Ever impressed by it? It's like, well, it's the problem every damn week. Like there's the whole plays.
But yeah, there's fans that when the Raiders win, they want you to start paying compliments to like the people that you've been down on, and it's like for them, if you don't do that, then you're not a fan, right? Then you're just like a guy who's just like critiques these guys or something like that. But like screw that. Are you kidding me? We're gonna give them praise when the tape shows praise to be given. Right?
Yeah, man, it's annoying at this point because it's literally will come back and debacle. It's like the offensive line just breaks down, and I'm supposed to just ignore it. And it's annoying at this point. So I'm annoyed. Yeah. I'm annoyed by this damn offensive line. It's anyways.
Why don't you jump into it? Why don't you do your breakdown here? Show us what happened on the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders. Epic collapse, embarrassing collapse.
All the above. All right. So like I said, we're going to cover Dylan Parham today. I think I had him with about look for us, but I think it was about 6 or 7 blown blocks in this game. So we're going to be looking at what's wrong with him. And we're also going to be watching him at right guard a little bit. I'm just, we're going to show him at right guard because we were positive. We like to keep positive here at Tate Don't Lie. So I'm going to start off positive too. I'm going to show the good blocks he had because you know what I'm saying? I think Dylan Parham, I think he has potential. I think he's still a good player. I just think he's struggling at left guard, to be honest. But I think he's still good enough where he could be an NFL guard at this point. But we'll watch. And just good blocks here. He always has good technique. I wish he got hit lower pad level here a little bit, but I mean, especially he got knocked down a little bit with the help from Colton Miller. But you see, Parham always has good technique. It's rarely that his hands are in the right spot. You see his hands are right where they need to be, right? And he's been able to get some push there a little bit. Always play strength is always a little bit of an issue with him. It always will be a little bit, but I think think he has the technique to make up for it a little bit, especially on the right side. But we'll see here. So he's able to get that double team, and then he's able to reset inside when Miller's able to disconnect. Right, he's able to take control there. You can see it one more time. He's able, as soon as he disconnects, he's able to get his hands inside, get control there. That's good technique right there. I mean, he can get his hands inside as much as you can right there. Pad level a little high, but right. All right. So here we go. Another one. We're getting the reverses. There's a whole lot of motion this week, but that's how I know they're setting up for Bill Belichick because they ain't ran motion all year. Let's keep it real. All right, here we go. Another good block right here on Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner dominated this game. I just want to say that too. I mean, I'm not showing too much of the run game, but my God, is that guy so good? I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about, but man. So there's that, right? There's a nice little block. What I like, he doesn't get beat by linebackers. That's one thing I do like about Dylan Parham. You see a lot of guards on the Raiders team, they're getting beat by linebackers a lot. He's not getting beat by a linebacker. All right. That's one thing I really like about him. It's mostly, to be honest, it's mostly just play strength, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. You kind of see it right here against 91, who dominated this game. You see a good block, but you see his punch timing. Watch his punches. Like, his hands are just a little slow on the punch timing, and when you don't have the play strength that he has, that can get you in trouble sometimes. So, right, you see 91 Gaines is able to get his hands on him quicker than he does. Right, he does a good job of sealing him off right here, kind of letting him side because he knows who to play. Because, like I said, he's a smart player. He is, right? He knows that even though if he's getting pushed, that's not where it's supposed to go, right? So he can go inside. He can go inside all you want. Because I got Collins coming around the corner. That's a good block.
But on outside zone away,
yeah,
he's getting beat.
Yeah. He's getting beat. He's actually doing pretty good in the run game. To be honest, I think in the run game he's fine on either side. It's more the pass game, but we'll see a good pass block here. They get a free blitzer here basically with the delayed blitz up the middle. But Derek Carr's supposed to handle that. He's able to get rid of the ball, check it down. You still see a good block here for him again. You still see the hands are a little late, but he does a good job of knocking this guy's hands down. You see that? Good job of knocking his hands down, like, right? Not letting him punch into him. And getting back in his hands back inside. That's a good block, man. That's talent. That's technique and talent. You see, he's always very balanced, right? He's got talent. He's good. I think he's got a lot of potential that you could work on. All right. Now, I put it on James when I said, but we're looking at Parham right here, right? This talk about the problems, or let's get into the negatives a little bit here. See, this is talking about the late hands. He still hasn't got his hands on Copeland yet. Copeland gets his hands inside, right? And now he's able to gets a push. Basically put the choke on him. You know what I'm saying? He got the choke. It's real easy move right here, right to the quarterback. He gets a hit, quarterback hit right there. All right, so we'll watch it one more time. It's the late hands. Gets his hand inside, and then like I said, he's trying to fight it to get his hands back inside, but the placement he's already lost, so it doesn't matter. And he doesn't have the anchor, the play strength at guard. That's why I talked about that forever, but it is what it is. It's right there. Boom. Quarterback hit. All right. Which one is this? Here we go. So here's another one. He just gets a quick spin move on him, which forces the car out the pocket here. See one more time. Lay hands. Guy just knocks his hands down, spins right by him. Forces the car out the pocket. So a lot of it is the late hands. So his hands are just really late. His punch timing is just really bad right now. He's got to get his hands up quicker. Right. The guy just knocks his hands down. Boop. Right around 92. I don't even know who 92 is. I have no idea who the guy is. I don't know. All right, here we go. Here's the interception play right here. So him against 91. All right, so 91, like I said, it's late hands. He's inside. He tries to reset on 91, but 91 has full control, and 91 knows he has full control of him, right? He knows he doesn't have the power to do this. So I want to stop this right here too, because we talked about Derek Carr stepping into Dylan Parham. I've heard that, and this is just the most Raider play of all time, in my opinion. And I want because you just stop it right here. I mean, there's a lane here, right? I mean, he's getting pushed. I want to talk about also John Simpson kind of saving Julian Illuminor and having the awareness here to kind of just, I just want to point that out. Having the awareness to know that Illuminor is getting his butt kicked and he's not blocking anybody, and he comes and just knocks him out, right? And then, there's a lane here still, right? And it's just watch what he does.
Murchison. Laurel Murchison.
Oh, it's 92?
91 is Laurel Murchison. 92 is Jonah Williams.
Okay. He's going to push him right into Derek Carr. He's just going to push him. Boom. As soon as he's throwing the ball. And
it is simultaneous.
It's simultaneous. As soon as he steps up into this lane, he tries to push right into him because he has full control over him. He has his hands are basically, he's getting pushed back. He had no control over that guy. And my favorite part of this play, which makes it the most Raider play of all time, is because, people want a description. Oh my God, is that the guy caught this with one hand. So the ball goes in the air. Guy gets pushed into Derek Carr. Ball goes in the air, and the guy catches it with one hand. It was just the Raiders since 2002. That's what I call that play.
Wow.
All right. Here we go. Another one. Like I said, late hands right around him. And I think 91's great gains. It's great gains, bro. That's what it is. But here we go. That's what it is. I see the name there. But late hands, knocks the hands down, swim move.
Great gains. Okay.
Right around him. Even get a hold there, but it's not called. It's fine. And, Derek Carr has to get out of the pocket here. And then this is the play where Derek Carr decided that he wanted to be, instead of just going out, just go out of bounds, Derek. Just go out of bounds. He wants to give up his back. And just gets popped. Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God. Who are these guys? Come on. This is ridiculous. It's so bad. It's so bad. The Rams have 2 number 91s listed on their damn roster. Okay.
They do.
All right, they don't even know who these guys are. Gosh.
What is this, Notre Dame?
Right.
All right. Here's the final play. Right here. And I don't know what these guys are doing. Yeah, I don't know why he went this way and then tried to come back this side. Right. I think maybe he's expecting Miller to block this guy, and they're letting these guys go because they're coming up the middle this way, which kind of makes sense in my opinion. Maybe that's what he's expecting. Maybe that's what he's supposed to do. I don't know if this is on Miller. I don't know if this is on Parham. I don't know if this is on James. I don't know because I've never seen him run this play before. So I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, I don't know why nobody blocked 93. So I don't understand it. If somebody blocks 93, I think this play works. If somebody blocks 93, if Miller just blocks 93, this guy's blocked up pretty well. And these guys can't get to where Jacobs is going. That's the first down. It's awful. Awful. Awful stuff. And it's just, it's just bad. All right. But, let's watch Dylan Parham at right guard, okay? And so it gets a little interesting. It gets a little weird here, guys. This is him versus Morgan Fox again. This is the same guy. Murdered him from the left side. Look at the right side. He gets his hands are in there a lot faster. Okay, so obviously he's a lot more comfortable on the right side, right? He's a lot more comfortable over there. He's got his hands up quick, right? And like I say, he's a technician, so he's got his hands up. He's got good pad level. He just pushes Morgan Fox right around. All right, now let's watch this. He even picks up a stunt from the right side. We have problems with stunts now with Dylan Parham from the right side. although Parham picks up stunts from the right side, gets his hand. Look at the hand placement on this. Great hand placement, great base. Plenty of time for Carr. I'm just saying. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know what they saw on the tape that said, hey, let's switch into the left. They see it not working, and they haven't switched it back. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking with that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty bad. So let's go to red zone. We're going to go over the 2 failed red zones. I mean, they went 1 for 3 there. I think the first one really is just kind of just them being, hey, we're going to win this game. And the second one, I think they really tried. But, of course, the play that I already showed happened. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about first play. We're going to get a reverse here. Let's go watch it. Nice little 7 yards, right? Yeah, hey, start it off. I already had 1 good red zone possession, got a touchdown. Let's start it off again. Check out the reverse here. I mean, they already ran a bunch from this. Is a different one than they ran with Matt Collins, though. Simple reverse. They kind of been running all game. A little jet sweep. Good block in there. By Moreau right there. 1-on-1 with DJ Turner. He can't beat that guy, though. I mean, it's kind of how you want. We design this play. That's what you want. You want that 1-on-1 right there. But especially with DJ Turner, I hope maybe he can make that guy miss, but we didn't get that. All right, so here's 2nd and 3. So here's where the play really gets bad. Okay, this is terrible execution once again. I showed this play on Twitter too. This is supposed to be inside zone. I even showed you this play, BD. I had to make sure I wasn't crazy. Okay, it's inside zone. I like to call this mid zone because, I mean, but, you know, I see a lot of people call it inside zone, so that's fine. I'm going to call it inside zone too. So here we go. Right? You see open up right here towards the C gap. And for some reason, Andre James does not block this center. And I don't know why he doesn't block the center because, I mean, it's inside zone. The guy's right in front of him, right? I mean, it's still in his zone. It's not like he's doing outside zone. I don't know. Maybe he got the outside zone call. I don't know, okay? I can't explain this one. I can't explain it. I think, you know, somebody asked me even, you know, Simpson should reach here. I mean, this is a very hard reach for Simpson. I think he's expecting a combo block. That's just my opinion. It's inside zone. He's expecting to get a combo block. He doesn't get one. So he's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? This guy's a free runner, so he grabs him in panic, right? And this play's blown up from the jump. I mean, it's blown up. And Josh Jacobs tries to make a play still, and they lose 5 yards. So there's your red zone right there. Yeah. Superstar. 91. Greg Gaines. Breakout game. They don't need Aaron Donald. They got Greg Gaines, guys. Come on, man. They got Greg Gaines.
Another star is born. Another star is born every week going up against this team.
Oh, man, they got Barmore coming. It's going to be hilarious. All right, here we go. And we do a screen here. It wasn't going to work anyways. I mean, Leonard Floyd read this really well. You see Floyd right here. Not playing. As soon as he sees Illuminar, and he knows he's not coming, he comes right back here. And then, of course, DJ Turner sees him. Right, so Turner's trying to catch the ball and run upfield as fast as he can. And he drops it. And then it almost gets picked, right? So this is kind of like this is like foreshadowing, I believe. There's gonna be a pick here because he almost picks this one. And if he passed up to himself or something, it picked that. That's pick 6, and then it'd been worse, right? But this play wasn't gonna work anyway. So this was. I mean, he's not. Where's he going? Was he a reverse field? I mean, the only thing he could do was maybe reverse field. He's not going anywhere. So this play was dead from the jump. So field goal. Here's your, that was we're here to go home play, basically. We just get a field goal here. Let's just get a field goal. Maybe we can get a first down. Well, if we get a field goal, man, we're playing such a good defense. They got Baker Mayfield who's on 2 days rest. What's the big deal? All right, so next drive here. What we're going to get is ghosts. So we want Adams on the option route. You're going to go route over here. Okay. Now you're going to get double post on this side. Believe. Okay, you get the double post on this side. Okay. Now, of course, he can't get to Adams because we already showed this play. Parham's getting beat. So he can't get to Adams, who's open, who probably would have hit Adams right there on the option route. Maybe he's a good throw. Adams can maybe break a tackle or something, right? But that's not going to happen. So then we get Derek Carr. He goes for the yards. Now, maybe if he was looking up here, I still think Josh Jacobs, because I've watched these plays 800 times, guys. Unless they added something new, they might have. He's supposed to run an out route. It's supposed to be read, right? But he sees 14 kind of sitting on him, and he had just a little adjustment here, right? But Derek Carr already is like, hey, I'm gonna run for the first down. Maybe he could have did a Patrick Mahomes and threw that in there. I'll maybe. But I want to on the backside of this, I think that it was an adjustment by Jacobs because Jacobs points to his chest. It says, "My bad." You'll see it in a second, but force the pressure. Because we got new superstar number 91. You see Jacobs like, my bad. Pay to just a little bit. My bad, though. My bad. Yeah, you're bad, Jacobs, because you probably would just would have caught the ball in the out route. Fine. All right, here we go. Next one. What we're getting corner route here, right? They call this like D flag, right? Because this is a little D route. You get a little flag route here. And then we're getting unders from Adams and a seam from Moreau there. You see that maybe like an option route. So on this one, Carr wants the corner, right? We got cover 2, right? And you see this guy, he's lurking here. There's a tight window throw right there. It's second down. And it's Keelan Cole. I don't know if Keelan Cole is going to make that catch for you in traffic. Still 5 yards there. You get the ball to Adams. Which I still saw another throw to Adams thing when he was like, he had 35% of the targets. He basically got every throw. So it was interesting. I saw some interesting takes about that, about targeting Adams, but not targeting Adams enough. It's like, you could throw to him every play, guys. We could do that all game if you really, really wanted to. So it's just hilarious. All right. So here is the final play. Which actually, I really like this design. I really like this. It's a great red zone play, man. So we're getting a B line with the post, with the little mini post behind it. Okay, so Carr's gonna work this side because he's getting man-to-man coverage on this one because they're gonna go switch to single high, right? So he's getting man-to-man. So he's gonna have Moreau on the seam, basically one-on-one with his safety. But of course, Bobby Wagner's awesome, so he's gonna end up taking that way. You're gonna get Ramsey, so he's gonna end up moving inside and guarding Adams on a little kind of when Adams tries to do his little return route. So Adams could be doing a return route. Keelan Cole's at the bottom right here. I think he's gonna motion to this side too and run that return route as well as his play goes along. So watch. Let's see the motion. He's gonna run a return route on his side. So you return right here. Then you get Abdullah out here. But what Carr is going to work, because you see as a rotation, if you got a post here, right, a B line, you got a post behind it, probably to get some good coverage. You're going to get a good look, right? That's the side he's working. So he's working this side. I know Brian Baldinger said, why don't you throw to Adams? But, he's working this side because he wants to throw a touchdown. So we're going for the touchdown here. So as soon as Moreau cannot clear, Bobby Wagner plays it, you got Matt Collins to the top, right? That's where Matt Collins, you throw this ball to the back of the end zone, which is Carr is going to step. That's what he's doing. He's about to step up. As soon as you see Bobby Wagner go this way and this safety go this way, there's nobody here. Okay, so this is, that's quarterback play. This safety, you get this safety go here. You got this post back here. You come to the second read, this post in the back. But of course, Dylan Parham gets pushed into him, and he can't throw it to the high into the back of the end zone. And then we get in the one-handed catch, which this makes this the most Raiders play of all time is the one-handed catch to the guy that caught this in one hand. I just maybe the other guy catches it. I don't know. But yeah, that's a touchdown, man. With a better some better offensive line, that is a touchdown. And that's what we talk about, like getting to second reads or whatever. That's how you get to second reads with a good offensive line, because that's literally how this should be read. You get this safety going this way with this play, right? That's the design. You get what you want. You get Mac Hollins to the back of the end zone. But no, you don't, because the Raiders since 2003. All right. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the execution extremely poor. I agree. Like it seemed like should have came up with some things in those moments, but just a guard play. I think that's damning more so than the goal in the red zone. Like it seems like every week, yeah, like you're saying, a new defensive lineman is having a breakout game, but then also when we go up against a great inside linebacker or just very good inside linebacker, it's a wrap. It's curtains. That guy is he's going to wreck the game because these guards are having a hard time getting up to that second level. James, Bars, they're going to play with them all game. So it's just going to be tough until they get that situation figured out. I am going to ask you at the end about Simpson getting cut or waived because I want to hear your opinion on his game. But beyond that offensive line, and I certainly agree with you about that being like one of the most Raider plays ever. But certainly Carr getting hurt, that had a huge impact as well.
Yeah. It's I mean, I think when Carr got hit in the back, I mean, to me that's kind of on him a little bit. To me, everybody wants to talk about what's going ahead to play or whatever it is, and I mean, I think it's more of a hero ball moment. Like you're not going to outrun Bobby Wagner to the sideline, bro. Just it's okay. Just throw it away. It says it. You don't have to dive. I know you want to show like you have a will to win or whatever, and I get it. But
yeah,
you just kind of just got to eat it at that point. I mean, you got to do force into the pocket, just run out of bounds. Nothing wrong with running out of bounds or doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a big turning point in the game because Jacobs got hurt in that same drive, so they really couldn't throw that much after that. And then it was just execution. And I mean, they didn't have the ball in the second half either. I mean, if I would make a point, they only had the ball like 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah. They were doing a great job. They're doing a great job. And there's a lot to go over, honestly, on the defense. I mean, I am going to probably, before this ends up being put out, I'll probably have all of it, every single snap of the entire game up on the channel for the members. So if you want to hear my analysis on everything, like literally every single play, I will have it up there for you right there for the members. But I'm just going to focus on, the last drive. But, in that second half, they were hemorrhaging yards, right? It might not have been hemorrhaging points. Rams were doing some silly stuff like, they're getting the ball punched out and they're having like these boneheaded, holding and offsides calls. Like they were getting a lot of penalties too on that called. And that was killing their drives, what really were successful drives. So yeah, like I know that there's a lot to be said about the refs as well in this one. We'll go over that as well. But yeah, like Raiders defense didn't do the offense any favors, allowing the Rams with a new quarterback to drive the length of the field over and over and over again throughout the course of the game. So it honestly, if not for some weird plays and some mistakes from the Rams, they could have blown them out. It could have been one of those weird games where Derek Carr has like that freak thing or whatever. And then if that's Matt Stafford, it's a wrap. There's plenty of plays where Baker Mayfield hits like an open guy and he's like bypassing a touchdown because the guy's wide open behind him. So At least 3 of those. At least 3 of those. Where he's just like, rolls out, check down, bam, beautiful. It's like a first down, 3 yards on a 3rd and 1 or something like that. But there's a guy like literally in the post just like waving with his hands up like by himself.
Baker Mayfield's gonna go back to normal next week, and this whole story is his whole comeback. Wow, what a game! It was like that, man. It was just.
We'll see. McVay don't like he was not sleeping on this game. You could tell he knew exactly how to beat these guys.
It was for Oli, bro. It was for Oli, man. They gave Greg Olsen the game ball. It was for Oli, man. That's what that game was for him.
There you go.
And John Gruden too, probably.
Right.
And Oli.
Right.
Yeah.
He did it for that Gruden connection right there, McVay. He's probably talking to Gruden all week. These guys.
All week.
How do you get in Carr's head? Yeah. For sure.
Give me the rundown of every single player.
Yeah,
all right, man.
That's good. All right, so here we go. We got like 19 minutes left. Okay, I'll run through this. So I'm just going to be talking about the Raiders' last final drive, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because there was a lot of mistakes made in this one, and it's 2nd and 10. There's a minute 41 left on the clock here. Okay, a minute 41 left on the clock on a 2nd and 10. And when you are playing in a 2-minute drill, okay, this is not from the Raiders playbook, but this is from Gus Bradley's playbook. So we had a defense coordinator who knew this. Okay, there's a couple things that you do, and I want you to just watch the second one right here. It says, do not let the runner or receiver out of bounds. Protect the sideline. Okay. Take a shot at the outside leg. Do not let him get out. Okay. And then on the second one from the bottom, it says no timeouts. Be aware of sideline routes. Okay. 2-minute drill. This team has no timeouts. Let's go back to the scoreboard. Just check it out. There's no full dots next to the LA logo. They have no timeouts. Okay. So you need to alert out route. Watch Amik Robertson here in the slot. Okay. This is really unacceptable. It's outside leverage. They're going to play cover 1 cross safety at the top of the screen. Is going to really cut in down here in the middle. It's going to look like cover 1 robber in this case. And Amik Robertson in the near slot, you cannot let this guy get outside. And he's just so passive with his feet. You need to be now jump outside of him. It is okay to give up a slant in this situation. Okay, so this is poor situational awareness more than anything from Amik Robertson right here in the slot, playing the nickel, man coverage. Your outside leverage is cover 1. Your outside leverage, and in this situation, it's crucial that you be outside leverage. Okay, so the problem with that play is it only took a few seconds off the clock. 4 seconds off the clock. Okay. And they're able now to get another playoff without rushing too much. Now, okay. So let's look at the next one. This is really another backbreaker, another unconscionable one from Amik Robertson. Okay. He's in man coverage and he kind of gets caught off guard. He's trying to talk to Sam Webb right here, and he's looking inside, and then they snap the ball, and he gets an inside release. You know what? Great. Get beat on a slant inside. Yes. Let him throw that slant right there in front of you. You tackle him in the middle of the field, and it takes off like 15, 20 seconds off the clock. Great. Okay, but what he does is, for some reason, jumps inside. Remember, outside leverage, jumps inside, which again, makes another huge mistake in this situation. And then an even bigger mistake is holding on for dear life. Like, this is not one that I can really, like it's pretty obvious he's holding on to the guy. Okay. At the very least, this is defensive holding, but I mean, and then he also tugs on him at the end too. So there's a lot of hands going on. It's pretty obvious. And I think you just got to, at the very least, stay inside leverage stay outside leverage on this, and guess what? You're good. You don't ever have to hold on or anything, because that's where he wants to go the entire time. Obviously, Amik, it's a 2-minute drill. Why would you jump inside like that? It makes no sense. And so you said that's the most Raider play ever. This is the most Raider play ever on defense. Are you kidding me? That's game. That's game right there. Bro. And I mean, and we got a pretty good pass rush right here. Delayed rush from Denzel Perryman. Watch him beat the back. Oof. And then get a hit on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield ends on the ground. He's like doing snow angels on the ground over there. Okay. We just wasted a fantastic play on defense. 10 guys did their job. 1 guy, and sometimes that's all it takes, of not executing. Okay, so that one got wiped out. That hurts. All right, and it's important to watch the clock in this instance, okay? 30 seconds left. It's a fresh set of downs. They just got away with one. It should have been a game winner, and it wasn't. All right. So now it looks like they're playing too high now. We're trying to help our corners out. Let's just stay on top of them. Hopefully these guys stay outside leverage. Psych, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing all game. Cover 1 cross. They'll never expect us to do the same thing that we've been doing all game, okay? And it works out for them because of the pass rush. Has nothing to do with the coverage, obviously. Let's look at the rush on this one. This is beautiful. This is a fantastic example. First, let's look at Max Crosby, okay? Jab step. Watch him with the jab step, okay? And it does just enough to make this tackle drop that outside foot back and load up thinking, okay, I'm getting the inside move. And it just stops his feet for just a quick, half a second, and he beats him outside, gets in on that sack. That's a beautiful play. Watch Bilal Nichols over here. This is a stunt that he's running with Chandler Jones, and he's supposed to take the guard into the tackle and take both of these blockers with him. A 2-for-1. 2-for-1 special. Watch him. Club, rip, and then go collision that tackle. He's taking 2 blockers by himself here and allowing Chandler Jones to get free. Beautiful execution. And really, when I was watching on the broadcast, I thought Chandler Jones coming in and Baker Mayfield's head flying back. I thought that they were going to get called a flag for hitting the quarterback or something.
See that guard. It's the guard, 65, whatever. Look at him. He thought it too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but we're good. And I'm breathing a sigh of relief. And then Jerry Tillery's like, not so fast. He's like, yeah, Raiders. This is how you do it. Killed it. That was a beautiful play. We just had a wonderful, perfect play in this situation. We needed that. That's probably it for them. That's game. We won the game. Jerry Tillery, not so fast. I
got to bet on the game. Wait, no, you got to get those. I need there's -5. I got a guy.
Gosh, that is crushing to see that in real time. And then, okay, so what do you know? Next play, what do they run? Cover 1 cross again, okay? And they're really leaving their corners on islands out here. And the corners have not been executing all game, so I don't know why you would do this to them in this situation. Nonetheless, it happens to Nate Hobbs out here. I think he's a little late getting his hands on. We see step, kick, get the hips in front. Little late getting the hands on. But what happens downfield is this guy, because, he is a fullback. Okay?
He's a fullback.
He's physical. And he just gives Hobbs a little bit of a push-off right there. A little subtle push-off, and it creates space at the last second before the ball's up in the air. And I think, obviously, Nate Hobbs panics because at no point does he get his head around. Yeah, and you'll see him from the end zone angle on this one. Here, we're just watch the end of the play so I can show you the end zone angle before we get to the rush on this one. Nate Hobbs, we are not affecting the catch point. You see, he's going for a bear hug and said that, trust me, that is not a technique. That is taught. Okay, so this is not a passing NFL technique. Okay, in the most crucial moment of the game. Okay, allowing that huge play to happen. And I want you to remember that at the beginning of this, we were at 141. Let's watch the rush real quick before we move on. Okay. And, the reason why we want to watch the rush is, first thing, as soon as this starts, 89 gets a little chip, 79 hands all the way out, showing the ref, hey, look, I'm going to be holding for the rest of this play, just so you know. Okay. And as soon as the play starts, he just bear hugs Crosby. Okay. And then after Crosby detaches, he goes, I'm not done holding yet, and then clotheslines him. And the ref is standing here like, bro, look at the ref's angle on this. There's no way. There's no way you're telling me he's not seeing that.
If you're on the offensive line side here, I mean, are they going to call holding every play?
If you see that it happens and then there's a huge play in a situational moment, yeah, throw a late flag, please.
That's what he's betting on. So he ain't gonna call holding every play. So I'm just gonna hold him every single.
All right. So this is important. Okay. Yeah, I know. This it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, no, it hurts. It's stupid, but it's true though. Like they're not gonna call holding every play. So
they're not. But
they're not.
Eventually, call it, please. So. 40 seconds. It started at 141. It took him 40 seconds to get 60 yards on this one here. Okay. 60 yards in 4 plays that we just saw, 41 seconds. All right. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Now, the next 2 plays are exactly how it should have looked the entire time. They finally do something different. They play cover 3 buzz weak, which is basically the cover 3 alternative for cover 1 cross. But anyways, they play zone instead, and look what happens. Force a check down, rally in the middle of the field, tackle this guy. Okay, great. Perfect. It's beautiful. Guess why? Because the clock is running. The clock is running out here. And now they got to hurry up.
2-yard line. That's an awesome 2-yard line.
From the 2-yard line, that is game over. Literally. There's no way you overcome that from the 2-yard line. Okay. Another one in the middle of the field, this time playing cover. They got to go back to it. Cover 1 Robert, cover 1 cross. Okay. We got the safety in the middle of the field. They're cheating over the top over here because they're playing one half field reads the entire game. So, they're allowing that safety to really cheat over the top. But anyways, on this one, okay, we see them throw to the middle of the field. Hobbs comes, rallies, tackles it in bounds. Great. Gave up a catch. I don't care. You tackled him in bounds. Who cares? Who cares if it's a first down? They're going for it every single play in this situation, right? So tackle him in bounds. Let's look at the rush right here. I mean, no one, I would say, really affected the quarterback on this one. We got, I'm not, and we're not going to start crying about holding. Certainly not on that, because we got other ones that are more egregious. But yeah. So last 2 plays, only went 17 yards, and it took the exact identical amount of time as the first 4 that went 60. So literally, if they just started off with those 2 plays, I think that's it. That's it. That's game. Okay. And then there is obviously the last play of the game. What do you think they're going to run, Marcus?
Probably some go routes. Probably 4 verts, right?
Probably 4 verts. What do you think they're going to run on defense?
Cover 1 cross.
Wouldn't you know it? This is why Baker Mayfield said, "Oh, it was too easy." It was just like, yeah, exactly. Just pick the matchup immediately.
He's like, who's okay? I'm gonna go with the best route runner, Van Jefferson, 101 on no go route
with no safety help. So it was like it was really honestly serving him a layup in this situation, and he went for it and he made it. So it's very disrespectful to the quarterback. So Baker Mayfield should feel disrespected. Honestly,
I think he did for real.
Good, because it was disrespectful. Let's talk about Webb's technique here. Again, same kind of thing. Okay, we got a little inside. Watch that inside jab step. Okay, it's gonna kind of freeze Webb's feet and make him open up. And when that happens, that jab step inside is just enough to make him open up. And again, with this, Rance are just doing a great job with his hand fighting. Watch his hands. Watch Van Jefferson's hands. It's happening early, okay, so that he can create that separation and then start working the rest of his route off of that separation that he gained in the stem. It's not about his release. I mean, yeah, he had great release, and then later on also creating more separation during the stem.
I love Van Jefferson. So.
Great player. So I mean,
he's so underrated.
This is savvy, but if this guy does a better job, the corner does a better job of staying square, and again, outside leverage, because if this goes back shoulder and you tackle him in bounds, maybe that's game over, right? So outside leverage, don't get beat outside. But what does he do? He gets beat outside. So I'm not going to say, oh, it was a perfect throw no, I'm not going to say that. Can't get beat outside in this situation. And once again, it happens. So clearly there is no coach coaching them up on this situational football. And another reason I can't give Sam Webb a pass on this one, but if we fast forward to the end, this is only a halfway attempt in the NFL at disrupting the catch point. This is good enough for high school. Okay, this is a great play in high school. This is a great play in high school. Okay, but a professional level technique is to punch up through the catch point and then rake down. Okay, and we only have one rake down. We don't ever have a punch. Okay, so that's part of it. So I can't also give him a pass and say, if we saw him punch up and rake down the catch point and Van Jefferson still catches it, then it's like, all right, well, shoot, he did it perfect. Feel me? So in this case, defense in the most crucial situation just did not execute, like across the board, like dumb penalties, just like the lack of situational awareness, bad scheme, right? Like there was really only one good pass rush play. I mean, I should show that last one again one more time actually, because I know that people are going to want to talk about the hold Crosby on the last play. So let me just talk about that real quick. Sorry. In the end zone angle, Crosby again, jab step, outside move. I mean, he's going for the same exact move that he got that pressure on before. And this guy, I think he's waiting for it a little bit more. He's not baited by it. But again, his first move is a very clear fully around. That's like that's like a half Nelson. That's like coming up from behind and chokeholding someone. Like
the ref just staring. He just
look at the ref. What do you think he's looking at right there?
I don't know.
So again, the two biggest, back-breaking pass plays is a blatant hold right in front of the white hat, and Raiders couldn't get those calls. So I mean, one or the other, please, and then that's a game, and then that's game. If they don't call the first one, call the second one.
Oh yeah,
make them earn it. Make them really earn it.
Call one of them. You gotta call one of them, right?
Call one of them.
Call one of them, please.
So didn't get any help from the refs. Didn't get any help from execution. Didn't get any help from coaching, situational or scheme. So we're like literally in the final moments, a complete utter collapse. Probably it's got to be one of the worst ever. It's got to be because of the situation. Like we're talking about Baker Mayfield just joined the team 2 days ago. Before this,
I mean, and Baker Mayfield played in the playoffs. I think that's sometimes when I watch, defensive coordinators sometimes, and they go against these quarterbacks who like maybe have lost their jobs and got released, traded somewhere or sent somewhere. Like sometimes, like man, these guys still played some. I mean, people were talking about Baker Mayfield being a top 10 quarterback going into 2021. It's not that crazy for him to throw a touchdown over the top of your head. It's just not, especially the outside. It's not that wild. To me, I
would say with these journeymen that you're talking about, right? It's easy to get caught up in all the ways where you can beat them because there's so much on tape, right? Like of them like struggling against things. Like think about like a guy like Sam Darnold, right? Think about a guy, like Mike Glennon or something like that, where it's just like the book is out. Like they've already struggled so much in the NFL. We know exactly how to attack them that you forget about. It's easy to forget about like when they have been successful or what they're good at. Like you completely disregard that in your game plan. Like
Yeah,
you're like, oh yeah, nah, whatever, because he sucks at all these other things. So we're just gonna hit him with that.
Literally, the only good thing that Baker Mayfield does is throw a good deep ball. It's like literally the only thing that he does really well, and he knows it. And when you play cover one late, you're just asking him to like just feed to what he's good at. That's basically what you got. He's gonna throw a great deep ball, and he's never was not like a non-clutch quarterback either. So the moment's not gonna scare him. He's gonna throw the ball up if you give him cover one outside. I mean, he's at 4 verts. He did find a matchup. He's not an idiot. He just you can make him play terrible if you want, but you don't take him seriously. I don't think they did the whole game when I watched some of the defense, but I don't think they took him seriously at all. And maybe just expecting him not to have a good game plan or whatever. But I mean, you play cover one against a quarterback, I mean, in the NFL that has had some kind of success.
Well, I mean, it's like, look, you can call cover one. We're not saying don't call cover one. We're saying you can't call it every single play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a key situational moment, like, gotta give him a little something to think about, like, make him process something, like, there was no processing going on because it was single high every single play. We saw it on that. It's the facts. It was single high every single play. There was only one zone play. It was all cover one cross. The rest of the game, cover one Robert for the rest of that final drive. So that's only like the coach literally was just like, what did he like have a fall asleep? Did he have a acid trip from back in the day, a little acid flashback or something like that? Patrick Graham just forgot he was coaching. I don't know what happened, but he dropped the ball. That's a big part of it.
Yeah,
I had another point, but yeah, I mean, situational. Oh yeah, well, the last thing I want to say is someone, Coach Josh McDaniels, Patrick Graham, Daron Harmon, someone needs to get the DB coach. Someone needs to get the secondary together and tell them like, hey, if you allow a guy outside of you, you owe me $5,000. Like, do not. Like, I will send you my Cash App, my Venmo. Do not let a guy outside of you. Period. Like, that's all we care about right now. And if someone just delivered that message to the DBs, that's it. Game over. We won this one. Never got that message. So,
all right. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. So, it's depressing tape on both sides. I guess he wanted me to talk about John Simpson a little bit why he got cut. I don't know why he got cut. I mean, he played fine. He was solid actually. So he has some. I think if you go look up all Jacob's best runs of the day, they're with either him getting to the second level or him pulling and looking like a freight train coming around the corner. So
what is going on there, man? What is going on?
So I mean, of course he missed some blocks a couple times. I mean, Bobby Wagner was kicking his ass. I'm not gonna lie. Every time he gets to the second level, Bobby Wagner kick his ass. I mean, that's fair. But there was like some good blocks and pass protection as you would see. There's some good blocks where he's coming around the corner. I don't get it. It wasn't enough for you to cut him, and now we don't know who's playing guard at all. I think Hornets Grasu is gonna. You cut him for Hornets Grasu though. That was like what it was. That's what it was like. Oh, it's personal.
Not even that. Just like let these guys battle it out in practice or whatever it is. So there's something else going on behind the scenes here with Simpson.
Like, where they're like, we got we can't play him. So
is he not making weight? Like, are any beat writers asking? Like, I stopped listening to press conferences a while ago. Are beat writers asking these guys what the hell is going on with Simpson?
They just assume Simpson sucks because that's their thing. The beat writers just simply sucks. That's a lot of people were saying. Well, he got cut because of his play. Had bad play on Thursday. It was cuttable. Like, how do you? First of all, you don't know that because Andre James deserved to be cut. If someone's going to cut that game, it was Andre James. That's who deserved to be cut. If we're cutting players based on performance, it was Andre James, and it would have saved us more money too, probably.
If you're cutting players on performance, Alex Bars would have been cut. In week 3.
Week 3. What do you? Yeah, some of the blocks he had.
Now you care about how these guys play. Get out of here, man. Are you kidding me? I can't stand that.
That was my whole problem. It's like, sure. What was he great? No, but he was better than Parham and James. And so you cut him? I mean, that's kind of like, what message does that send to me, too? It's clear I could watch tape. it's clear. You could see he's playing better than Parham and James. And then you cut him. Like, I don't know what message that sent. What message does that send to the team? That's a real conversation too. Like, if you can watch the film, I don't care. You know, people have their little bias breakdowns and they want to do, you know, whatever they want to do with their bias breakdowns. But if you are subjected, you just watch it. You know, he was not the worst lineman on the field that game. The other two guys were next to him, right? And they're still on the team. Andre James is still here playing center. I don't know, maybe is Grassley taking his spot? No, but I read Vinny Bonsworth, how do I say his name, but shout out Vinny. He reported that he's playing guard.
Who, maybe Grasso?
Yeah, Grassley's coming to play guard.
Yeah, of course.
So, but he's never played a snap. So they'd rather play Hornets Grasso than John Simpson. It's not that bad. It's not like laughable type of lineman tape that you want to do that. So that's when it was like, oh wow, that's personal. That's not film to me. Like if anything, he's backup guard material if you're gonna do that. I mean, that's good enough to be a backup guard at least. So but we're seeing Hornets Grasso this week, I guess. I don't know what their plan is. Maybe they move Illuminor inside. But then they still gotta play it.
Yeah. I don't know. Man, what's the point? But we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. You know, how many more games left? 4 games?
4 games, yeah.
So 4 more weeks at least. Regular season TDO. We're gonna, let you know how it goes. We're gonna be checking in with you guys. Hopefully you guys are okay with this long-winded rant that we had. You're pretty upset about both sides. Production.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible. All right, here we go. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Subscribe. Check out all the material we're dropping this week. Got this one. BDs can be join the membership. You can get every single defensive snap. See how they gave up 17 points, and that's a big factor for everybody. So 17 points. Go watch that, and then of course, I'll be doing the run game here tomorrow as well. So it's gonna be watch all the sloppy play a little bit.
That's probably the worst 17-point defensive performance in the history of the NFL. Easily. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I saw some guys there. They're all doing the whole Bills conversation. So guy was like, he's like, well, it was 20. The Bills gave up 20 points instead of 17. And I was thinking, well, they only had to score 13 to win. So
right.
They win with 13, actually.
Wow. Imagine. A defense.
All right, guys. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Right here. Peace.